Hi guys and welcome back to our YouTube channel. I am your host Pranav, and today in this video we are going to talk about how to find a job in a startup. So this video is being made specifically for those people जो कि अभी college में हैं और उनको अभी startup में job करना है, or even for people who are in their corporate jobs and they're looking to switch to a startup role. So it's for all those people. Now, how am I qualified enough to kind of talk about this topic? So let me take you through a little bit about my journey as a career. So I graduated almost 10 years back from IIT Roorkee, and since then, other than founding my own startup, I've worked across in pretty much very early stage startups to late stage startups that have raised funds in Series D, Series E as well. So I've kind of a huge plethora of experience in working across different kinds of startups. So I hope the learnings that I have had and how did I crack these multiple roles in different startups throughout my journey, I'll be able to help those people out who are just starting to look out and just starting to start their journey working in a startup. And trust me, it's going to be a very exciting journey once you start working and hustling for a startup. It's an experience of a lifetime. And to help you out, I have broken down the playbook that I followed into 5 key points, and that was definitely going to help you out in getting the dream job that you've always been looking out for in a startup. So let's get started with the first point. So yeah, the first thing that you need to identify is what is the kind of startup field as well as the kind of role that you are looking out for. I mean, there is such a huge plethora of startups out there, whether you want to, work for a B2B startup or a B2C startup, whether it's the fintech industry, the medtech industry, the edtech industry. There are marketing based startups, there are D2C companies that are very famous right now, and a lot of other companies. So first of all, sit down and study all these companies and see कि तुम सबसे ज़्यादा relate किससे कर रहे हो. This could not be just one field. This could be multiple fields. Say, for example, you say that, hey, I am relating very much to the fintech sector and the edtech sector, and this kind of excites me. So, choose those. After just choosing those, the second part of the first step that comes down is what are the kind of roles that you're looking out for. You could be a coder, so you might be thinking, hey, I want to do tech roles or maybe move into product management. That is one way out. Or if you would be looking in a more management side of roles, these could be strategy roles, founders office roles, these could be business development, marketing, P&L management, business analytics, data management, and a variety of roles that are present in a startup. So once you've identified, okay, hey, this is the sector and this is the kind of roles that I'm looking for, then you move on to the next step. So if I talk about the next step is कि अब मैंने ये तो डिसाइड कर लिया है कि कौन से सेक्टर और कौन से जॉब्स मुझे ढूंढने हैं, बट बॉस कंपनीज कौन कौन सी हैं जिसमें मैं अप्लाई करूं, राइट? सो हाउ डू यू आइडेंटिफाई दीज कंपनीज? Two ways. One, if you're not following the startup industry on a very regular basis, I would recommend that you start doing that by subscribing to Your Story, VC Circle, TechCrunch, Crunchbase, and a bunch of other online portals like that, which keep on publishing about the latest fundings and the latest press releases that these startups keep on doing in the market, about their expansions, about their hiring plans, and anything and everything like that, right? So once you've done that, there's another way out to kind of also expand this list is to go through the VC route. So VC is basically venture capitalists. Now these venture capitalists keep on investing into these startups, and that is how they kind of keep on expanding. So you identify a bunch of these venture capitalists, which are very few in the market, depending upon, I mean, if the startups is this much, venture capitalists are just this much in the market. So these could be your Sequoia, Matrix Partners, Kalari Capital, Omidyar Venture Network, and a bunch of other capitals that you can go on Google search and find out. Once you have found out these venture capital networks, go onto their websites and look for their portfolio companies. So that's the easiest way out, that you can map out all the portfolio companies that they've already funded in, and you also know searching about those companies at what kind of funding they have raised, what is the team that is already present there. Coming on to the third step, which is very important, is to reach out to the people in the startup. So owing to the chaotic nature of the startups, what happens is कि most of these startups don't post a lot of their openings onto these job portals that are out there, that is Naukri or IM Jobs or a bunch of other companies like that, right? So what you have to do is that you have to really reach out to people on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is going to be your best friend in kind of doing this exercise. So once on your identified companies, go to LinkedIn and find out people who are part of the management team, right? So these could be founders, these could be people in the founders team, the strategy team, or the CXO level people in these organizations, and send out a connection request to all these people. Obviously, this whole process is going to look like a typical sales funnel where you start out with probably like identifying 100 startups or maybe 50 startups, and then reaching out to two or three or four people out of each of these startups on the LinkedIn network. Maybe like 20, 30, 40% of these people are going to accept your request. So those are your first point of contact in reaching out for scouting a possible opening in these startups. So once you have now identified and these people have accepted your request on LinkedIn, now comes the most important part, is reaching out to them. And trust me, this is the first level contact that you make to any of these team members, and that first impression matters. So how do you make that right first impression? Is through research. That is where I come to my fifth point. So with each and every person, don't shoot out a generic cold message or a cold email. Research about the company, research about the person, their background, and then draft a crisp and clear message as to why you would want to join their startup, their company, and how you could be a valuable asset to their organization. If they really feel that you've put in that effort and you can be an asset to their organization, they would definitely would want to open up a conversation line with you and then take things ahead. So if you follow these 5 points step by step, I am 100% sure that you are going to line up with some interviews, and out of these some interviews, if you prepare really well, then you can really crack the interview or the company that you have been dreaming about, and start your career in a startup. And I hope that this playbook really helps you in finding your next job. Please do tell me in comments if you find this helpful, and if you do implement it, and if you're able to find that dream job of yours. I would love to listen to that story in the comment section. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.